Hello, and thank you for watching and popping onto the channel. This game battle is about aiming, reticle use, depression and dispersion. I'm going to stop it here just for 2 seconds. You see the bush just in front of me here. I'm going to use that as a form of soft cover, and the building to the right of the bush to my right will be hard cover for anything on the hill to my right that you can see, and also from the building opposite. Behind that cover I shouldn't be seen. Now we'll click on. Stopping here, you'll see just in a second that little diagram underneath it shows my camouflage nets are active, yet I was still spotted and hit. Now that is an oddity that you will come across, especially with some players. But we've been hit, we've been tracked, no damage caused, reversing back out of danger area. The rest of the team, as you can see, they've all headed over to the base area, and the light and medium are away over on the far right hand side on an inclined hill. Now what I want to talk about in this video, especially for newer players, is aiming reticle, gun dispersion and gun depression. I'm just going to pause it here just a second. After you pay attention to that middle circle in the middle of the screen with the 6.4 and the meterage going up and down, the distance going up and down. Right, I'll pause it here just a second. Once I get into this building I'll show you a lot better. It takes time to put across probably. See, I was spotted again there, and I'm well out of range of any of the tanks that's on here. But we'll discuss that shortly. Now, you see that black arrow right in the centre of the screen, pointing up the way. And then to the left of it there's 6.4. That is your loading time. This takes 6.4 seconds to reload once a shell has been fired. To the right of that up arrow is a distance marker. At present, the arrow is pointing towards that building away up in the distance, which is shown at 341 metres away. Well out with this view range of this tank. Pardon me. The two tanks that you can see to the left and right, the M4, and on the right hand side, the KB1. They don't have visuals on me because the M4 is below the ridge line, and I'm behind a bush towards him, so I've got a soft cover that he can't see through, and the KB1 is behind the silo tower, so he can't see me. Now the line that you can see below the KB1 with the markers, the up markers on it, where the reticle is pointing, that green circle, that is your gun depression angle. If that shows yellow or white, you can fire above that line. You cannot fire below it. That's your gun depression. I'll show you this later on in this battle, where it turns red, which shows that I can't fire below that onto a target that's below that line. Now let's play on. Right, you see that black arrow in the middle? That always stays in the middle of the screen. That won't move. The smaller arrow that's floating around that you can see is where the barrel is pointing to. That is your aiming reticle. That moves where you move the barrel towards. Now the circle there, the reticle, the green line dotted reticle, is your aiming circle, your reticle. Now watch. You see the size of the circle. Now the centre of the screen, the big arrow, is pointing towards where that Stug 3 is. My barrel is pointing to the right of it, just to the right hand side. Now the reticle is the green dotted circle around it. Watch what happens with that reticle when it changes size. see it's went down? It went down, it didn't go down to its full minimum size. But that is the aiming area of where your shot will land. And that is your dispersion. Now, you can fire exactly having the two arrows lined up. You can fire at the target inside that reticle. It's showing red now because I've fired it. These yellow dots to the top right hand, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock area, they will go round and turn, it'll turn green once I've reloaded. On the left hand side it shows 5.6, so I've got 5.6 seconds still before I can reload. Now the target is just in front of 240 meters away, and above the reticle you'll see there's a light bulb. That's because I've fired. Whether I'm within distance or out of distance, it will light up when you've fired. Let's carry on. See, the reticle's going back to its huge size. Now we'll wait and see if we can get another target, and I'll show you, see if I can show you another example of what to do. Right, I've been spotted because he is now 115 meters away from me. The reticle, the red reticle as it is now, is just about the same size as half of the tank. So any shell that I fire will land within that red circle, that red reticle. Now where the green arrow is, which is usually the big black arrow that floats around in the middle, is just off centered line with where the barrel is actually pointing. And that will give me a shot onto that, the front end of that Stug 3. 5.6 seconds to reload from now, and he's 115 meters away. So he spotted me up because I fired, but he's also within view range. Now above that Stug you'll see there's a track, red track damage. He's tracked, so it's critical damage, so his vehicle is stationary unless he presses the repair kit. It went green, he's repaired it, he's now on the move again. Now, let's see if I can pause it here. No, it's not going to work. Right, there. You see where the reticle is now? It's quite large. I've reloaded, it's showing 6.4, and my reticle's green, which means I can fire. Now the arrow, as I said, the larger arrow, is the centre of the screen. That will always point and stay in the centre of the screen. That arrow to the top right hand side, which is parallel with the pole, is where the barrel is pointing. There you go. Another hit onto his tracks, just as he came round. Now I've went, the tank has drove forward slightly and it's went downhill, so the barrel is now down, the aiming barrel is now down below and near the bottom of the reticle circle. So if I was reloaded again and fired, I would have a chance of missing this altogether. See how he's stunned again? He's repaired it again, which is quite quick. So he must have two auto repair kits on here, the auto repair kit on and the track repair kit. Now, we spoke about aiming circle, we spoke about the dispersion, the area within the circle that the shell will land, and we haven't spoke about dispersion as yet, not fully. But there's a spot just coming up where it's going to come into play, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Now, he's below the dispersion that I've got, the depression, so is he, so I can still fire. Now, this example is coming up, and I just want to pause it here just for a second. You see where the A20 is on the right hand side? He's full health, 470 health points, he hasn't been hit as yet. To my right there's an extremely long building, as you can see. Now one other little thing to pay attention is you're going to go head on towards that A20. Don't go right up against the side of the building thinking you're going to use it as hard cover for a reason. Because if he turns and comes towards me, the only thing I can do is either go forward or back. I won't be able to turn the vehicle. Right, you see there where the gun's pointing? The black arrow, as I said, is still in the centre, but the barrel and the aiming circle is down below where the tank is. If you look on the right hand side of the circle where it says 11 metres, it shows a red arrow. That indicates to me that there's another target on my right hand side, which is also indicated on the mini map on your bottom left hand of the screen. Now, I can shoot at him because he's at close range. He's only 20 metres away. The reticle circle, as you can see, is right in the centre. The arrow is right in the centre when I fired. Obviously it's away down here now, but the main armour was set and it was on a lower plate. That was an easy kill because he only had 88 health points left. Right, let's move on and see if we can find this spot where this reticle... Right, here we go. You see the angle the tank is at. The reticle is away up above the tank, away up to the left hand side, 11 o'clock. The gun depression line is shown red and it's away over to the left because I'm pointing to the left hand side, but yet the dark triangle is right in the centre of the screen, always in the centre of the screen. He fired, but the angle I was at, he bounced. Right, I was only 85 metres away to the building. That's not the tank that reticle's aiming at, it's the building. I'm loaded, my reticle's green. Now you can see the size of the reticle and the size of the tank. He's on full health, remember. But the red line where the reticle marker is sitting at shows my gun depression angle. I cannot fire below that red line. You have to wait until it goes yellow or green. If you look below, you'll see that there's a dispersion line just coming up. Just where the rocks are, you'll see a faint yellow line coming. Now I can fire. The tank reticle, the A20 in front of it, is virtually, I would say 80% of the tank is within that green reticle circle. The black arrow, that's usually black, it stays in the centre of the screen, has turned green because it's actually on the target, it's on the target, it's on the tank. But the barrel is still pointing just slightly below, say 5 o'clock area. 71 metres away. You can take a shot into him. Now, I was talking about the building. Don't go right next to the building. Leave yourself space to move your tank. Now, he's moved out, come back, fire. Track him. If he's reversing back, track him. It stops him in his place. Simple kill. And there we go. First class, a Top Gun and a 4-kill Kolobanov. But that's not what we're interested in. We're not interested in these things. What we want to talk about, or what I want to point out, is the aiming circle. Let it come down to the space. There's green reticle. When it's loaded, your reticle will be green. When it's black and turning yellow, it means that you're waiting on red, and turning yellow. It's waiting on you reloading, and the reload timer on the left hand side of the circle will go down. In that tank it's 6.4 seconds. In other tanks it can be 8.89 seconds, or depending on what type of a light tank or something like that, it could be 3.4 seconds, 5.2 seconds. They're all different, and they will all be in the description on your right hand side of each tank. Your gun dispersion is also detailed on the right hand side of your tank specifications. Now you have to look at that and calculate where your reticle's aiming at how far away the distance of the tank is, and what your dispersion value is. Now, the little circle, the reticle, and where you're aiming at, that is where the shell will land, within that circle. It won't always land. You could have the two up arrows directly lined within each other, both of them overlapping each other, and you fire. Now you'll see the shell either goes left, or right, or up or down. That's called your dispersion. The red and yellow and white line that you see going across the screen is your level of the tank that you can lower the tank barrel to shoot. If that's red and the target is below it, you won't hit the target. You have to bring the tank or the barrel down to a level where it's below the tank, and then you can shoot. If that was too quick for you, rewind it, have another look, watch where the reticle is, watch the timing, watch the distance, your gun dispersion, where the shell will land within the circle, and your gun depression. Now, that's a tank destroyer, a TD, so the barrel will always stay pointing to the front of the tank. When you're in a light tank or a medium tank or a heavy tank with a turret, they will turn left, right round about. But when you move the tank, the reticle will go back to its fullest size, its maximum size. You have to stop and be stationary, or your turret stationary, and wait until your reticle comes down. That is called your aiming time. Again, is linked on your right hand side in every tank specification. So if you have an aiming time of 6 seconds, you have to wait 6 seconds for that reticle to come down to its minimum size. And the smaller the size of the reticle, the better chance you have, if the reticle is on target, that you will hit the target. You might bounce off it, you might ricochet off it, it might not cause any damage. Those are other things that we'll talk about, because your angles have to be right and your shell velocity has to be related to, but these are more technical details that we'll go into in our 2 or 3 videos. But rewind this one, have another quick scan through it, aiming time, loading time, gun dispersion, and gun depression. These are all main mechanics of the game that you have to pay attention to and learn as you go on. I hope this helps. Thank you for watching.